Welcome to the Kayfabe Crimes podcast. I'm your host, Sully Iqbal, and we're going to be talking about NXT TakeOver New York 2019. So let's jump right into it. To kick off the show, we had the tag title match between the War Raiders and my boys, Aleister Black and King Ricochet. So to start off, Vikings are sexy. The entrance from the War Raiders not only confirmed that they were going to win, but it was cool AF, man. They were like... they are Vikings in real life, let's be honest. But the entrance with all the Viking geezers, top notch. Ricochet and Aleister Black have their own entrances. I mean, their entrances are cool anyway, so that was fine. But obviously, they weren't going to win, let's be honest. But it was, you know what, this was a fantastic match. I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling, and with a match between a actual tag team and two guys who are singles competitors, I absolutely adored this match. Tag team wrestling is my favorite wrestling. So the match started off with Rhodes and Aleister Black in the ring. They were sort of doing the more technical chain wrestling stuff. They were very fast. There was definitely points of mutual respect between them where Rhodes was on top of Aleister Black. He's like, oh dude, I could have punched the heck out of you. He helps him get up. Aleister Black does the same, but with his foot. He puts his foot on Rhodes' shoulders. Like, I could have kicked your head off. They get up with mutual show of respect. They both tag in their tag team partners, where Hanson and Ricochet, who are the high flyers of their teams. Ricochet, yeah, you can tell. Hanson, that's a large boy. That's a horse wrestler right there, and he is athletic as they come. So, they start fighting as usual. They're trading like backflips and handstand springboard moves. At one point, Ricochet takes Hanson to the outside. Aleister Black comes in because Rhodes comes in and gets him on the outside. And then Aleister Black does his running, jump off the middle rope, like backflip, and then sits down. Ricochet sits down next to him, and it's just the cutest thing in the world. Like, they are the cutest couple in NXT, I'll be honest. Were the cutest couple in NXT, if you wait to the end of the match. And in the background of this, the crowd was cheering, you deserve it, but they weren't looking at the match. I assume either someone got married, like proposed, or someone got kicked out, because there was like a, haha, you deserve it chance, and I wasn't too sure. So anyway, the match resumes. Hanson is overpowering both Aleister Black and Ricochet at this point. He's got them both in the corners. He's doing the lariats to each corner. He then tries to throw Aleister Black into Ricochet. Ricochet pops Aleister Black over him, which is like, okay, that's cool, good tag team chemistry. But it looks like Aleister Black then falls and hits his face in the apron. I think that was a story beat. I doubt that was an accident, but this match had a lot of story beats that were cool. It was like very dramatic, very tense throughout, which, I mean, even the characters in the match, you can see like the War Raiders look like they could be in a movie. Aleister Black looks like he could be in a movie. Even Ricochet, who is smaller than the other ones, still looks like he'd be the cool, like, oh yeah, look at me guy in a movie, like the jazzy one. So then the match becomes sort of a striking match. Oh, no. Before this, before they tag in their partners, Hanson goes to do like a running crossbody on Ricochet. Ricochet catches him and does a fall-away slam. Ricochet isn't a big guy, and Hanson's 300 plus pounds, which is really impressive. They both tag in their partners. It becomes like a striking match between Rhodes and Aleister Black. Then they tag their partners in. Hanson and Ricochet are doing like their springboard moves, like their, roll over your back, springboard off the back and back, blah, blah. It's like super fast. Then Aleister Black and Rhodes end up being in the action again. Rhodes is in Aleister Black and Ricochet's corner. He's staring down Aleister Black. Aleister Black is staring at him, and he's like, fuck it. And Black masses him. Then Ricochet hits I think it's a 450 or a shooting star press. I wasn't sure. And he's going for the pin. Aleister Black standing there trying to stop Hanson. Hanson comes in. Aleister Black's trying to hold him back. 2.5. Hanson overpowers Aleister Black and dumps him on top of the pinfall. Amazing. There's some more back and forth. Like, on the outside there was like on the outside is Hansen. Then Aleister Black goes on the outside, hits him with a golden triangle, that Kotobushi move where he goes over the top rope, up the side of the turnbuckle on the outside and hits a moonsault. Loads of people did that today. Like, that's more and more becoming a common move I've seen in the past few months. Then Rhodes hits a suicide dive on Aleister Black on the outside, and then Ricochet does like a corkscrew handstand tope over the top rope onto Rhodes. Then Hansen's on the top rope at this point and does like a cannonball onto everyone on the outside. I'm like, what the fish fingers and chips? Then they're on the inside. There's some back and forth. Rhodes is in the corner. Ricochet goes up, tries to hit 630. Hansen pulls Rhodes out. They take out Aleister Black on the outside. War Raiders go inside. They hit two finishers. The first one was like a pop-up power slam, followed by the fall away, which kind of looked like Ricochet got concussed after the match, because this leads to the 3 count. Aleister Black's trying to get in, just misses the count. War Raiders retain. Amazing. Like, trainers came in. They were just checking on Ricochet, and he seemed fine eventually. They all got up, they all hugged, showed respect to each other. The War Raiders put the belts on the ground. They bowed to Ricochet and Aleister Black and gave them the center of the ring. They were really emotional. Both Aleister Black and Ricochet. And Aleister Black doesn't look like a guy who would get emotional, let's be honest. They're both emotional, thanking the NXT audience, doing like within the ring, going around, bowing, clapping their hands to everyone. Very slowly left the ring. Very beautiful show. This is going to be their last match on NXT, it looks like. They've got a match at Mania. I'm thinking they might pick up the SmackDown titles and put them in a program with someone there. That would be really cool. But yeah, or they'll just start competing as singles superstars, which I think they should do. I hope Aleister Black stays on on SmackDown, and then Ricochet goes to Raw. I know a lot of people think it should be the other way around, but I really think Aleister Black really fits with the character, especially if someone like Daniel Bryan is the world champion, or Samoa Joe. He's a really good opposite to them. Up next, we have my favorite match of the night, I think, which is the North American Championship match between Matt Riddle and the Velveteen Dream. Dream is... I guess you can guess who's my favorite superstar in NXT. Entrances, awesome. Matt Riddle, normal entrance, but he comes out dressed up as a New York Yankee with his pinstripe stuff. And, it's the bro. You just want to smoke a joint with him. And then the Velveteen Dream in all of his glory. He comes out, it's black, there's Statue of Liberty and some pillars. Lights come on. The Statue of Liberty is the Velveteen Dream. He does his pose, snaps his fingers, and the pillars were actually dudes, and they carry him to the ring in his, like, emperor-type throne deal. It's the Velveteen Dream. Beginning of the match is just character work. They're all like going to the crowd, like, yeah, I'm Velveteen Dream, yeah, I'm Matt Riddle. The Dream, as always, he's doing is like, ooh, come at me, bro, come at me. Like, for the beginning of the match, he's always a bit playful to start his matches. I've never seen a match where he starts off super serious. He always starts playfully, which is really good for his character. I think he's still so young, and I think the fact he's very playful in the ring is something they should keep on pushing until he gets much older, where it's like, okay, I have to be serious now. I have to... When he wins his NXT title, I think that's going to be when they're like, okay, Dream has to be serious now. Dream has to be... He can't be his playful self if he wants to win this title, which is going to be awesome for the future. Just awesome character work. Nate Diaz name drop from Mauro. As always, he's the man with the plan. By plan, I mean pop culture references. Very early on in the match, Matt Riddle is dominating. He's showing off his technical and submission prowess, his mixed martial arts skills. And then the Dream starts playing a little bit dirty. He stomps on Matt Riddle's like bare feet, and Riddle's like, oh shit, and commentary are really like, yeah, this is why you don't wrestle barefoot, but no one's going to stop the King of Bros from being a bro. And then there's a lot of back and forth at this point in and around the ring. I think at some point, the Dream is doing axe handles all over the ring. He tries to do one to the outside, and Matt Riddle evades and hits him with a German suplex on the outside, which is ouchie, ouchie, bro. Was it to the apron? I don't think this one was to the apron. And so they're back in the ring. Again, a lot of back and forth, a lot of like submission work from Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle sort of reverses one of the Dream's moves into an ankle lock. The Dream looks like the Dream reverses it, and Matt Riddle transitions to an ankle lock on the other foot, which is amazing. The Dream gets out of it, does a couple of super kicks here and there. Matt Riddle's got him down on the ground. He's punching him, and then he starts to Hulk out, the Velveteen Dream, and he's doing the finger point, you! And close punches, like clotheslines, big boot. And instead of a leg drop, he hits him like a knee to the back of the head, which is awesome. Again, more back and forth. Purple Rainmaker. Yeah, he goes to a Purple Rainmaker, and Matt Riddle transitions it into a bro mission, but he can't finish it. And then they manage to get to the ropes, and the Velveteen Dream's on the outside. Matt Riddle does a second, like he stood on the second rope, deadlifts the Dream over the ropes, and does a German suplex, followed by what Maro called a floating bro. It kind of looks like a reverse Twisted Bliss. It was really cool because it's got a lot of height on it, but it's only a 2 count. Eventually, Matt Riddle gets the Dream into a bro mission again. He's like slapping him on the chest. He doesn't fully have it synced in, and then the Dream rolls over, gets Riddle's shoulders on the ground, and it's a 3 count. And it was like, oh, this was such a close match. And the Dream is like in the corner. He's like celebrating again. He's cocky, and Matt Riddle is just in the ring, like soaking in this is my first loss. I'm angry. And I think throughout the match, because he's a very like in-your-face, aggressive wrestler, he almost feels like a heel. He feels like he'll be an amazing heel, which they could probably dabble with, probably in NXT at some point, when I think Johnny's going to be a face from now on, so it might be nice to dabble with Matt Riddle as a heel to chase that title at some point. Maybe not right now. Maybe let's have him pick up the North American title, but amazing match. And the Dream and Matt Riddle just showing how awesome they are and how what a great depth of talent NXT has. Okay, so I might have lied about what was my favourite match. This could have been my favourite match. It's Peter Dunne versus Volta. NXT UK, this is my bread and butter. This is my home title. Come on, how can I not love this match? You got Peter Dunne, 685 days without losing, and you got Volta, giant man, just huge human being. He looked like he slimmed down a little bit for this match. He looked a little bit like his body just looked like leaner. It might just be all the travel he's had to do. He's not able to eat as much. Maybe he just wanted to look a little bit leaner for NXT. Still was a huge, towering, bloody Jesus, I don't want to fight this looking man. And Peter was just like, oh, Pete Dunne, innit? That's not a Birmingham accent. That's more like a Cockney accent. But anyway, the match started off very, I would say, European style. There's chain wrestling, a lot of holds, a lot of graps on the ground. Something very, very British. I don't want to say British because Walter's Austrian, I think. So maybe that's how they do wrestling in Europe as well. I've not checked out that much. It was just bloody. There was so much going on in this match. It's like NXT. It's so hard to take notes whilst you're watching the match. It's like you're taking notes, and then 4 things happen whilst you're taking notes. And like, okay, I need to only hit the big spots. But when you hit a big spot, there's these really little character moments you don't want to miss either. But it was amazing. I think very early on, whilst Walter's dominating, Pete Dunne eventually gets back by he reverses a lot of Walter's holds into like his finger grabs. So Walter's trying to, in the beginning, Walter's trying to get a chop off, and Pete Dunne's obviously scared to this. Like, I'm not going to get chopped by Walter. I'm not going to get chopped by Walter. I will die. And just awesomeness. He eventually he gets some chops off, but they're not full like flush ones, which you see Walter hit that just ground everyone. Eventually, Pete Dunne, it's smart. Pete Dunne starts off with all of his matches very chain wrestling, because he's an amazing chain wrestler, and with most guys he can out wrestle them. But Walter's so big, he has to use his agility. He's running, he's taking out Walter's legs, he's ducking Walter to get him to the ground. Eventually, he gets him on the outside, and then Pete Dunne hits a golden triangle, which is awesome on Walter on the outside. And then, after doing that, whilst Walter's on the ground, he goes to the top rope and does a top rope stomp from the outside, which is just like, ouchie, ouchie. They're back on the inside, they're fighting back and forth a little bit more, and then eventually Pete Dunne is hit with a shotgun dropkick from Walter, which sends him from like the middle of the ring all the way to the corner, and it's like, oh my god, like, Jesus. Walter gets Pete Dunne up for a powerbomb. 1, 2, Pete Dunne kicks out, and it's the first person to kick out the powerbomb. Also, when he's pinning people on this powerbomb, I think, I don't remember seeing it before. He probably has done it though. He like puts his entire 300 plus pound frame on Pete Dunne and lifts his legs off the ground to put more pressure on Pete Dunne. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, how do you kick out of this? So it's, oh, dude, wow, amazing. And then like Walter picks up Pete Dunne, he's holding him with one hand, and he fucking chops him with the other, and Pete Dunne goes to the ground, but Walter's still holding onto him. He pulls him up again, chops him again. Pete is on the ground, and it's like, and then they're chopping each other back and forth, like a chop, forearm, and they'll go back to this. Walter goes for another power bomb, but Pete Dunne reverses it, does a step up into Guri, sending Walter into the corner. Walter's trying to go to the then he sets it's so fast. Walter gets out the way of a move from Pete Dunne. So Pete Dunne ends up on the second rope. Walter goes up to try and like do a sleeper suplex on him. But Pete Dunne's like, no, you're not. Grabs his fingers, does the break thing, hits them on the metal post, and it's like, fuck my hand, how am I going to chop you? But Walter still perseveres, hits that second rope sleeper suplex, which is a sleeper suplex is already like, oh my god, please don't land on your neck. But from the second rope, Jesus. But Pete Dunne kicks out of a 2 count, and then Walter gets him up, he tries to chop him. Peter grabs his hand, does finger breaks on both of Walter's hands, and then Walter's on the ground. Pete Dunne transitions into an arm bar, into another finger break, but Walter's just like, no, you're not. Walter then goes up he gets Pete Dunne down, he goes up to the top rope, goes for a splash, but it's weird because Walter's so big, but Pete Dunne is managing to reverse this into a triangle, and then and does a finger break. Walter's like, oh no, I'm Walter, I am fading. And then Pete Dunne hits him with a bitter end, but it's only a 2 count. Then they're trading like stomps and chops and forearms. So it's like chop, forearm, chop, forearm. Obviously, Walter has been selling the injury to his fingers, so he can't really do much. His chops aren't as powerful. But chop, forearm, it's, oh god. Then Walter goes up to the second rope to try and hit something. Pete Dunne's like, nah, you're not, bruv. Again, not Birmingham accent. He goes there, he tries to get a triangle on Walter on the second rope, probably trying to wear him down, do the finger break. Walter's like, no. Power bombs him off the second rope. Pete Dunne's in the middle of the ring. Walter goes back up. Walter splash, that's what I'm calling it, the Walter splash off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Walter! is your new NXT UK champion. And I'm like, wow. It was inevitable. It was like, as soon as Walter debuted at Blackpool, you're like, oh, Walter's winning that title and Pete Dunne is moving on. But it's emotional because Pete Dunne's been the face of NXT UK for nearly 2 years. And just an amazing match. It just goes to show how amazing British wrestling is and how amazing European wrestling is. And I can't wait to see who lies in wait for Walter at NXT UK, and I can't wait to see what Pete Dunne's going to be doing. Hopefully in mainline NXT. I don't really want to see him go to the main roster yet, unless there's like this amazing story where he's going to straight away challenge for the Universal title and pick it up, or because he should be your number one wrestler. He should be the face of any promotion he's in. So we'll have to see. Up next, we have the NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way. An amazing match, so fast, so much stuff. You have 4 amazing competitors in the rings. In the ring, you've got Shayna Baszler, who was just like, I am fucking MMA embodiment. She is Ronda Rousey, but good. Like, Ronda Rousey's good, but Shayna Baszler is even better Ronda Rousey. Shayna Baszler should be in the Ronda Rousey spot right now, because she can also cut a wicked promo. You got Bianca Belair, who is undefeated, because it's a mindset. It doesn't matter if you lose a match; it's in your mind. As long as you're undefeated, girl. That was just offensive what I did there. Then you got the Pirate Princess, Kairi Sane. She's just the best. She's just the most adorable yet scary woman in the world, and I love her. And then you got Io Shirai, who is just also the most amazing woman in the world, with her abilities to do moonsaults out of nowhere. I love Japanese wrestling. But yeah, the match to start with is so fast. Obviously it's Joshi wrestling, it's women's wrestling in Japan. So, like, even Nigel was all about, like, they're colluding. Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, collusion. Yeah, I like to call them my kawaii girls, but that might be offensive. They're just murking everyone. They're taking out Shayna and Bianca Belair. I just don't know. I couldn't write down what they were doing. There was so much stuff. But it was like they just took the other 2 out. They were about to fight. They run the ropes. They both get grabbed by Shayna and Bianca respectively and get pulled out the ring. Shayna and Bianca start to brawl. A really cool spot was Bianca was on the other side of the rope, like the post on the outside, and Shayna grabs her hair, tries to pull her towards the post to hit her head. I think she did that at the last TakeOver match, but Bianca's like, nuh-uh, grabs the hair back, pulls Shayna Baszler, and she hits her face in the thing. Amazing. They're back in the ring. Bianca Belair is such an athletic wrestler. She is powerful, and she is fast, and she is going so far. And I think she's a homegrown talent for NXT, which is even more amazing because you see all of these external wrestlers coming in, and they're the ones that dominate NXT. But then you've got the likes of Bianca Belair, and you've got the Velveteen Dream, who were made and molded in NXT, and they're just amazing. I know Dream had some stuff outside of NXT, but mostly he's an NXT product. And then, again, the Joshi girls are just wrecking everyone again in the middle of the ring. They send Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair to the outside. And then they do this move where Io stood in front of the posts. Kairi runs the ropes, comes back. Io pops her over herself and takes out the other 2. Io then does I think she does a golden triangle as well onto Shayna Baszler, I think. And it's just awesome. They go back in the middle of the ring. They're just all fired up. I think everyone rolls back into the middle of the ring. Like, they roll the other 2 back in. There's, again, a lot of back and forth. No, they don't roll Shayna back in because Shayna's on the outside, because Io and Kairi are going for another, like, tag team move on Bianca Belair. but Shayna grabs Kyrie by the legs and pulls her out. Io's like, yo, what's up, bro? And then she turns around, Bianca Belair picks her up and military press slams her on the outside. Is it a military press slam? Well, she military presses her to the outside on Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. I'm like, dude, girl, you're so strong. You're so strong. It's amazing. And then I think the two Joshi wrestlers are out. Back in the middle, Shayna Baszler gets Bianca Belair into the Kiributa clutch, but Bianca Belair manages to reverse that and gets them out of the. I think what did she do? She reverses it, and I think she does like a, I don't know what they call it. I think they called it a KDO. It looks like a burning hammer, but I don't think it's a burning hammer. Because I think burning hammer you land on your neck, whereas it's like an upside down attitude adjustment. I think Mara called it a KDO. Maybe it's called a KDO. And then Io Shirai is one-on-one with Shayna Baszler. Io does a double moonsault. So she does one middle rope moonsault, and then followed by a top rope moonsault. 1, 2, 2.5. Kairi comes in and breaks it up. She throws Io out the ring. Then hits Shayna Baszler with a insane elbow. 1, 2.5. Io Shirai comes in and breaks up the pinfall, and it's just Kairi Sane does this thing where, like, she looks like the most gentle woman in the world, but she does have this scowl, which is like, oh god, don't mess with her. But she does this scream, which I can understand why some people might construe that as annoying, like, oh, why are you screaming? But it's just like this scream of anguish and like, no, I need to win this. I want to win this, and it's like, to me, it's perfect. Obviously, I might be biased because I love Kairi Sane, but I think it's just that perfect pitch of like anguish, right? It's amazing. I could go on about those subtleties in the NXT Women's division forever. I could just do a podcast on NXT Women's Wrestling because it is fantastic, and I need to start watching Japanese women's wrestling because if they do half, I mean, I'm imagining Io Shirai and Kairi Sane are only doing 70% of what they could do in Japan, so I'm pretty sure it would be amazing out there. But anyway, back to the match. The two Joshi girls start fighting, and then Kairi Sane hits this insane. What's it called? Like, spike DDT on Io Shirai, and it's like she absolutely wrecks her head, and then she goes up for an insane elbow, but Bianca Belair is there, gets her hair whip, and just tries to whip Kairi as hard as she can, and like, oh my god, and you can like see Kairi selling it. Bianca Belair goes on the inside, she picks up Io Shirai for her, I called it a burning hammer, but it's probably not a burning hammer. I think it's the KDO. Honestly, I don't know what it's called. And then she gets Kairi Sane and puts her on top of Io Shirai, and she's like, oh my god, on her face you can tell she's like, I am carrying two grown women here. I am been beaten up and I'm battered. And she's like, okay. And then she does it, and she's on the floor, and she's very, very, very slowly trying to cover Kairi Sane. The ref gets to like 1. I think he gets the second count. Shayna Baszler comes in perfect timing, ultimate opportunist, kicks Bianca Belair off Kairi, then very smoothly transitions into getting Bianca into the Kiributa clutch. Bianca she's grabbing, she's clawing, she's pulling Shayna Baszler's hair and her eyes, trying to scratch it, anything to get out, and she just can't anymore, and she has to tap. And Shayna Baszler, just best heel, amazing heel, and she's just like, yeah, look at me, I am the champion. Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir come out, it's like, yeah, you're the champ. I don't think they sound like that. It sound like some bad Iconics. voice. And just Shayna Baszler is awesome. There was these shots of just Bianca Belair just dejected and angry, and not angry but like disappointed. Same with Kairi and Io, and NXT Women's Division's on fire, man. I could see this moving off into maybe Shayna Bianca 2 and Kairi versus Io having their own program or whatever combination of that. You've also got Candice LeRae, who started wrestling again. You've got the likes of Mia Yim, Kaylee LeRae, just fire full of talent, amazing. If WWE did an all-women's show, man, the NXT women should be the headlines of that, because they are just as good, if not better, than the women on the main roster. Again, main roster wrestling, don't have much time, don't have much preparation, you're on the road 5 days a week, but man, give me more NXT women's title matches. It's freaking fantastic. And obviously, to close us off, we have the NXT Championship match, best 2 out of 3 falls to determine the brand new NXT Champion, because it's been vacated by Tommaso Ciampa, between Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, baby. Johnny Gargano comes out, he's fucking Iron Man. He's doing an Iron Man thing. They're really like, oh yeah, he's the Iron Man of NXT. He's the Iron Man of NXT. And Adam Cole, baby, comes out and he's like, Adam Cole, baby, BAYBAY is. Sorry, everyone should just have what's the word? A variation on the Velveteen Dream's entrance. So anyway, the match starts off very fast paced, but also very, I'd say, choreographed. It looks like they knew what they were doing, which, I mean, why? I mean, it's good to know what you're doing, but it was like, okay, reversal, then this reversal, then roll, and another roll, and this reversal. It felt very indie show style, which, I mean, these guys were both prominent figures in the independent scene, so it makes sense. And commentary were definitely pushing to say, oh, these two know each other so well, they battled so many times in the independent scene, just to get that feel of, okay, these guys are very equal competitors, and this is going to be a hard-fought match, which, I mean, you want that when you're trying to crown your well, not first, but a brand new champion, because your previous champion was injured. They're going all around the ring. And then, what's his name? Adam Cole starts playing it even more heelish, doing those wear-down tactics, those rest holds, conserving energy. Johnny Gargano then takes it full pelt. He's like, they're on the outside of the ring. Johnny hits, what's his face, with a spear on the outside. And then he like hits him with a spear on the outside, but not on the outside, it's on the apron. So the spear he spears him on the apron, goes inside, hits him with a slingshot DDT on the inside, but Adam Cole kicks out of that. Adam Cole is then like, listen, bish, gets John Gargano down and hits him with the last shot version 2, because the one to the back of his head, it's just a shining wizard to the back of his head. And he gets the first fall very early on, maybe 7 or 8 minutes into the match, which, I mean, makes sense. It was a very fast-paced match. He then goes for a second last shot. Johnny ducks out the way. Oh no, now is when Johnny Gargano hits him with a spear onto the apron. The first one was just a regular spear, a slingshot spear to the inside. And back on the inside, and still on the outside, Johnny Gargano then follows the spear with a running senton along the apron onto Adam Cole. Fucking brutal. He gets him back in the ring, but Adam Cole kicks out. Or I think a 2 count. Back and forth. Ushi Garoshi. I just love saying that name. It's like a neck breaker, but you drop them. You drop them their neck onto your knee, which fucking hell looks like it hurts. More back and forth. They're on the outside. Adam Cole pushes Johnny Gargano into the posts on the outside after Johnny hits a slingshot DDT on the outside on the apron. And at that point, Johnny could have just taken the 10 count out and gotten a fall, but he was like, no, I'm the face. He goes out, picks up Adam Cole, and pushes him into the posts. They're in the inside of the ring. Adam Cole goes for a super kick, but Johnny reverses it, gets him down, puts a Fujiwara armbar on. Adam Cole's about to get out. He transitions that into into a Gargano escape, and Adam Cole taps out almost immediately, which I don't think makes him look weak. I think that's really smart, because as a heel, you're like, okay, I don't want to take too much punishment. I'll tap straight away, and then I'll get to the next fall, and I'll be sort of fresh. And then at this point, I think Johnny was bleeding a little bit from those pushes into the posts, and you can see like the blood properly now. It's not a lot; it's just a little bit of color on his face, and he's like, "Ooh, baby, I'm bleeding," and they're just staring each other down. They're like, "Mother trucker, let's go!" And the match definitely like ramps up. It becomes an indie match at this point. They are trading at the same time. They're like forearm punch, and they super kick each other at the same time. Like, okay, yeah, this is an indie match now, which really feeds into the end of it. They've balled on the outside, and then a really like ouchy spot, which, I mean, I listened to some reviews of this before I did this, and no one covered this, but it was a wheelbarrow suplex from Adam Cole onto Johnny Gargano, where he hits like the upper part of his back / neck on the apron, and I'm like, ooh, ow, ouchie, bobouchie. But then Johnny Gargano's like, no, bitch. He hits two DDTs, like springboard DDTs on Adam Cole on the inside, and then hits a suicide dive. Then he's on the and then he rolls Adam Cole on the inside. He's slowly getting up to the apron, and he's like, springboard spear, nope, and he gets super kicked in the face. 1, 2, kick out, because Johnny Gargano kicks out 100 times. Then Johnny Gargano rolls to the outside. Adam Cole's very slowly getting up, and he's like, what do I have to do to put this guy away? Johnny Gargano's like, mother ducker, and he takes apart the table and is like, I'm going to put you through this table, brother. So they're on the outside brawling. Johnny Gargano's going to set up Adam Cole for, I think, maybe like a powerbomb type move. Adam Cole reverses it and hits a fairy tale ending, Tommaso Ciampa's finisher. On the outside, Johnny rolls to like Mauro's side. Well, I think it's the Spanish announce table, of course. Adam Cole goes on the inside. He's like, where's the ref? Ref's checking on Johnny. He's like, get your butthole in here, bro. And start counting. Ref starts counting. It's like, at 8, you see Johnny getting up. You don't see him getting in the ring. He's stumbling towards the ring. 9.5, he just like pops himself into the ring and breaks up the count. Johnny gets hit with a super kick, 2 count. Then Johnny gets into the Gargano escape. At this point, Undisputed Era turn up. Roderick Strong is on the apron. He distracts the ref. Adam Cole tries to get out, but then Johnny puts him in another Gargano escape. Adam Cole starts tapping, but the ref is still distracted by Roderick Strong. Kyle O'Reilly comes in. He like breaks the eyes of Johnny Gargano, and then like the ref's like, oh, what's going on? Johnny's there. He's holding his eyes. Adam Cole kicks Johnny into the ref. Ref bump outside the ring. Red Dragon then come in. They hit the ultimate elimination or ultimate decapitation or whatever their move is. The kick to the leg and the head. And they're like, Roddy, get the ref back in the ring. And Adam Cole's just like crawling, and he gets on top of him. He's like, 1, 2, 2.5 kick out. I'm like, oh my god, Johnny Gargano's fucking Superman at this point. But he becomes more Superman, because actually he becomes Batman as well. He goes in the outside of the ring. He takes out every single person of the Undisputed Era, like Batman in Batman vs Superman when he's fighting the goons. Gets back in the ring. He gets hit with 2 super kicks and a last shot, and he kicks out at 2.5. And I'm like, what the fish fingers and chips? And then Johnny Gargano gets Thingy back into a into a Gargano escape. Adam Cole, he's crawling to the ropes, he's about to grab it. Johnny transitions it, like twists it back into another one, and it's like he can't hold on any longer. Adam Cole taps out. Bonnie Barbano is your new NXT champion after basically proving he is John Cena 2.0 and kicking out of every single move in the world. Which, I mean, I think if there was a couple less kickouts, I would be okay with that. I mean, it's still a great match, but like, he kicked out of absolutely everything, which was a bit like, eek. But yeah, despite that, great match. Candice LeRae comes out, celebrates with her husband. Of course, story-wise and real life, he's probably worked his bloody ass off to get here. They're at the top of the ring. Copyright sign comes out, and then out comes Tommaso Ciampa. What? But this is face, dad, I just got a neck surgery. Tommaso Ciampa, my career might be over. He's like, you did it, man. He hugs him. He's smiling, but it looks weird because Tommaso Ciampa doesn't smile. All three of them are hugging at the top of the ramp. He raises Johnny and Candice's hands up. Beautiful scene, and fade to black. Not Aleister Black, fade to black, but fade to black. So let's wrap this up. It's a NXT TakeOver New York 2019. Amazing show. Definitely check it out if you you like good wrestling. And remember to like and subscribe to the Kayfabe Crumbs podcast. It's Mania weekend, so there's going to be a lot of Mania stuff going up the next few days. I hope you guys enjoy that review. Remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, and just as always, don't get black masked because you'll probably get a concussion to the head, which isn't good because concussions are bad, folks. They're bad.